everybody. Welcome to Sunday's Coffee Lounge. Oh my God, it feels like forever. So I'm making this video after, I don't know, probably a few weeks, and you guys saw that last several weeks. You will see this video. So I'm filming this. Today is Thursday, and it's August 13th, right now, 2:36 p.m. If you have been watching my channel from the beginning, you know that I used to say the date and time and all of that. Oh my God, last few months has been crazy to say the least. If you have been coming to the channel and if you know what I bring to the channel, and also if you have shared, thank you, because a lot of you have shared the channel with a lot of people. So many things have grown from where we started, right? This channel started as a survival guide, and then now we have meetup events, and 3 books are out. There'll be 1 more book next year, but anyway, last couple of weeks got so busy that I could not even post my daily videos, which has not happened since a little over 2 years of the channel, because every single day I had the videos, right? So sometime I would film them in advance, but I would post that. But you know, selling the marital home, which happens after divorce, and moving to a new place. Then I went to a conference in Boston, and then last week my daughter and we went to Florida. That was a trip that I booked like, I don't know, 4 months ago. So it was good. At the same time, I was so exhausted because they were like back-to-back things. So finally, I'm like, you know, this is a good way to start again the videos, because I do have a bunch of videos that I filmed in Florida. Actually, not as many as I wanted, because I was tired. I'll tell you guys, I was tired. And there is still a few more left from Boston, so I will be posting them. But I figured the Bible verse coffee lounge videos are the great way to start, because I'm like, okay, you know, I gotta get going with this. So, and the timing and everything felt so right. So I'm going to tell you guys the story. And you know, if you have been coming to this Bible verse 10 a.m., a lot of you have been, and seems like it is helping you guys too. And I feel so grateful. I can't tell you, because you know, my hope is that someday I'll be able to help millions of people. But even if it helps thousands of people, you know, my it's life well lived, right? Because we all go through pain, and then when we turn them into purpose and we can help others to do the same, you know, that is what matters, because there's so much pain and suffering in the world, and if we all can, you know, help a little bit, you know, then there is help in that, because we can help the community around us, right? We may not be able to change the whole world, but that's how it happens. There's a ripple effect that we try to help the people around us, and then they go and help the people around them, and then there's a ripple effect of that, right? So anyway, here you guys know that even though I'm Christian, I don't necessarily talk only about Christianity. I pick a Bible verse and I tell you some story that what happened or how I related with my recent days, and then I also encourage you guys to share in the comments section, because you never know who is going to be finding inspiration from your comment. They might be more inspired from your comment than my video. Anyway, so today's verse, I wrote it down over there. It's Romans 12:12. Again, I'm using the World English Bible version, web version I call it, because the other ones has copyright, so I don't want to get into trouble with using NIV or Message. I think another version, which I generally sometimes do, but for YouTube I keep it to World English Bible version, so it's a little different. Rejoicing in hope, enduring in troubles, continuing steadfastly in prayer. So 3 important things. The hope, you know, you always keep your hope no matter what happens in life, and enduring in troubles, which also is the patience. We got to keep our patience as we, even if we don't know what's happening, we just have to keep going and have the patience that things will turn out okay. And finally, the prayer, right? So we have to keep praying, and then eventually God's deliverance will happen. So I'll tell you the story. So today, this morning, my daughter, she's in 5th grade. Oh my God, it's like, you guys know, kids grow up so fast, right? And I think time is time, but it's relative, right? It seems like kids grow up fast also because I think they change, right? And for us, we don't necessarily change as much from, like, I don't know, from 30 to, I don't know, 55 or whatever. But for them, they grow in height, they talk differently and whatnot. Yeah, it's like, it was just reminding me of something my daughter, she said, so she's pretty funny. She was saying so many funny things when we were on the trip, so it just reminded me. Anyway, so she's going to 5th grade. So today was open house. We are in Virginia, so we went to her school. So as I was driving, I was a little late. I was not late for the open house, but I guess a lot of people were in the prior session, and there were 2 sessions. So anyway, as I was going, a lot of people from the prior session was still there. So there are a lot of people parked on the regular parking and also on the curves and stuff like that. So I was like, oh my God, where do I find parking? And if I had to park all the way pretty far and walk, then I'll be late for the session. So anyway, I was again, goes to the hope. I was hoping that I will find a parking. So I kept driving, and then I see this license plate 1212. And if you follow Christianity, there is a concept that God speaks to you, right? So God speaks to us in many different ways. And again, like I said, the stories I share, even if you like, you guys know, some of you, as you are coming here, I was Hindu, and then I followed Buddhism, and then I became Christian. Speaking of that, Christian, like, because 1212 number has a huge significance to me, not only because I became Christian on December 12th, 12/12 on 2024. It was not planned, but that's a whole different story. Also, there are many other 12/12 significance in my life. So apart from that, God speaks to me through numbers and license plates a lot. And there's a few other ways, but a lot of it is through numbers. So anyway, as I saw that number, I was like, okay, I was hopeful for the year ahead. And if you're coming to this channel, you know that I talk about it openly, that it's not only the parents as we go through the challenges and then we reinvent, we talk about reinvention. Kids also go through their own reinvention. So last couple of years had been a little challenging for my daughter. And as we had moved to 2 different houses, and she stays with me a week and stays with her dad another week. So that's how we swap. So it has been ups and downs with her emotion, which you guys, I'm pretty sure you relate also. If you have kids and if you are separated or going through the divorce, it is painful for you, it is painful for kids too. But I think my daughter has finally reached to a point that, because it's 3 years now since our separation started. So I think she reached to a point that she's more or less settled. Thank you, God. So anyway, as I was going, I saw the number, and it's like a lot of time, it's like a repeat number. And I prayed to God, and I had this feeling that the year ahead will turn out good. The year ahead will turn out good. Her 5th grade will turn out good. So as we went to the class, and the teacher was talking about how 5th grade is going to be, the teacher was amazing, and there were multiple teachers, and they were all amazing, and things that we knew that that my daughter would like. And I was like, it's sometimes that's the thing. So the reason I share this story is because hope, you got to keep the hope, because even if you don't see things happening right away. It just got to keep going. And number two is the endurance, where it talks about endurance and patience. There's a book. Where is the book? I have so many books here. Yeah. So this book, I'm glad that I actually didn't plan it, but it was right there. God wanted me to share it. So Manifest Your Destiny by Wayne Dyer. Manifest Your Destiny by Wayne Dyer. There are 9 principles he talks about, and it's not a religious book because his teachings were very, lack of a better word, I'm like open-minded, right? So he talks about religion at the same time. He would say, don't be Christian, be Christ-like. Also, don't be Buddhist, be Buddha-like, right? So it's more like love one another, care for one another, and those are the principles that I absolutely, absolutely love. So in that book, why I brought up about this book is about, he talks about, in one chapter, he talks about, it might be the principle, out of the 9 principles, it might be the 7th principle or something, that infinite patience, or infinite patience, whichever the way it's pronounced, infinite patience. Infinite patience is what will bring you infinite love, and that love is like the higher power, the godly love, not necessarily romantic love, because it's because we as human, we cannot love like God. It's the sacrificial love that sometimes we can, but we as a human, there is always this internal battle. You guys know I talk about in our critic and in our coach, right? Because there's the flesh and blood, and there's the spirit, you call it Holy Spirit, or like, you know, your soul. You know, there's a because the soul is always good. The soul always wants to love others, help others, and there's everything positive about the soul. But the ego, the inner critic, you know, that is in fight with the soul, because it wants its own, like, as a separate individual, and who wants to be better than others and all of that, which you know, there's a fight always going on. And that is why, as human, and also there's this free will, right? So the free will that God gives us, so you can amplify this, the inner coach, which is the soul, the positivity, and you can amplify this, the ego and the critic and all of that. But anyway, so reading that book, I've been trying to practice a lot of that with my daughter. She's 10, and you guys know, with kids, we need a lot of patience. And so I have been reading it, like reading and listening. Like, for me, when I like some book, I listen to it like maybe, I don't know, 15 times, 20 times. So not many books I have in that category, only like 3, 4 like that. But anyway, so that book, I have been ruminating with that thought a lot. And yesterday I was driving to the gym, and I would encourage you guys to do that too, because when we ruminate on a thought in multiple areas of our life, we actually get to learn more. So it talked about, as I was listening, Wayne Dyer was talking about how, you know, people who agree with us, we actually don't learn anything from them. I mean, it's of course good when people agree with us, especially if we're running a business, whatever. But people who push our buttons, you know, they are the ones we learn things from, right? So when I talk about pushing a button, you guys know what I'm talking about with kids, right? They are like our ultimate teachers, right? So that's what came to my mind, like with patience. So when you're going through separation and divorce, because for kids also it is so challenging, they don't know, the life they knew from since they were born is going upside down, right? For us, it's like, at least we were single before, but for them, it's like a completely whole different new territory that they did not know how, they don't know how it is going to be. So so I was like, you know, so I had to have a lot of patience last 2 years, 2, 3 years. And I know that I'm not a perfect mom at all. I try. And it made me realize that, you know, the patience, as we keep learning, we can keep going to the next, and kids are always watching us, right? So I remember several months ago, I felt like it was also like kind of daunting to think that that as I will be doing everything, my daughter is watching me. How do I, how do I do things perfectly, right? And then the other thought came to my mind that it's not necessarily um, so that, because and that's the inner critic, right? It wants us to be perfect. Now, it's not that we're going to keep doing the wrong things, but even if we set an intention for that, okay, next week I'm going to do these 3 good things, and then let's say the first week I even fail doing it, right? The second week, out of the 3 I do 1. The third week, out of the 3 I do 2. That's a progress, right? So those are the things I think it counts, and then it builds patience too. As we keep setting our intentions and do the good things, it builds our patience, and also it builds patience for our kids. Again, they are watching and learning, right? Final is the prayer. For me, prayer has been life-changing. I pray for my close friends, families, and of course my daughter, that goes without saying. And for the whole world. And also, one thing I learned, that when we pray for others, that actually helps us. It brings peace to our minds. So now we don't want to do it for the reward, but it's because in many ways, you guys know I talk about this, that I really truly feel, not just believe, I really truly feel that we are 8 billion human family, just one big human family. And I'm going to be covering that in the next Sunday's video, where it is actually going to be, again, 12-12, because this number, the significance of it is so huge in my life. So that one is actually going to be 1 Corinthians 12:12. 1 Corinthians 12:12. That is also about the 8 billion human family, how God, if you're a Christian, like how Jesus's body is like, a little bit of it in every human being. And again, from Buddhism, there's a concept that also kind of connects. So it'll be about how I looked at Buddhism and Christianity and some similarities around there. So that'll be next week's video. So look out for that. So going back to this, today's, I'm going to be reading it again here, Romans 12:12. Rejoicing in hope, endurance in troubles, continuing steadfastly in prayer. So hope, patience, prayer. Hope, patience, prayer. No matter what you are going through, just have those 3, and life will, settle out, and you will find peace. Just keep going, because sometimes life will be upside down, like my last 2-3 months have been. but slowly I'm hoping that in the next few months things will settle down. It is still a little bit crazy, but things will settle down. So I'm hopeful. Again, the verse started with like the hope, right? I said hope, patience, and prayer. Never lose hope. Okay, take care. Bye.